Yeah, you know, I really don't want to like I don't want to come off as if like I'm coming from a place of like higher, like I know what I'm talking about, like I'm enlightened, you're not, like I'm just expressing to you like different thoughts and different deep held musings on life through my experience and through what I've read, through all of these philosophers. You know, I'm a human, and I struggle.
It's like it's like a challenge. It's like one moment you are enlightened, the other moment you're not. I think anybody, when they're in a room alone, is enlightened. Once the second person comes in the room, you're not enlightened anymore. There's lots of, if any of you that have ever been married and you live with your wife, she goes on vacation, all of a sudden the guy's enlightened after a couple days, and then she gets back and all of a sudden he's an idiot again. We can also see that I'm not enlightened because of my view of relationships that I just proclaimed to you.
It's a circle. It's a circle. It's not a ladder, right? So enlightenment is not like I'm up here and you're down here. Those are metaphorical ways of maybe putting it that you've come across in the literature with respect to awakening and enlightenment. But I view it as a circle. You know, it's just an infinite potential to be actualized through conscious illumination.
I know a lot of like self-help people that have like, they're popular. Popular doesn't mean conscious. Just because you have a lot of people following you, that doesn't mean you're necessarily conscious. And they're always like, they fit a certain profile. They wear a certain amount of clothes, and that's not necessarily enlightenment. But it's not necessarily not enlightenment. It depends on what their role is, what they're doing, what their level of vibration is in the moment, how they're serving the people within their company and the world. That's consciousness. So a lot of times people are getting credit, trying to get credit for what they're doing.
Indeed. And that's not to say that trying to get credit for something means that you are not awakened.
I saw these mentally challenged, or some people would say retarded kids one time waiting for the bus, and one's just like slamming against the chair and everything like this, and they have their person that's helping them through the day and everything. I would think of like that's how an enlightened person would show up. Like they don't have to work, they have everything coming to them and everything. I mean, there's can be some angry, like mentally challenged people too, but these are just like in total bliss mode. That if we were to act like that, people would think we're crazy, and they already think we're crazy. But that was like even too far for us.
Yeah. When I first started out, and I started like just like being very enthusiastically happy.
I love the dancing in front of the dorms. When you told me about that, we still got to do that. We got to go dance in front of the dorms.
That was an experience. Yeah. I danced and I sang and I freestyled and I rapped in front of dorms. Oh, I sang the song that I came up with one time in a experience I had in a meditative space, where it was love and life, that's all there is. 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 Release that inner child. Release that inner child. So I was basically singing this. Just dancing, and people were watching, and it was a way for me to like humiliate my ego and to like put it out there to like to be scrutinized and laughed at, and like people like, you know, like really like getting it to widen so that I can have my attention embrace a horizon that goes beyond the personal self, yet is embracing of the personal self. Because I think that's very important to keep in mind, right? The transcendence is not a transcendence in the way that you leave it behind, but it's in a transcendence in a way that it's inclusive transcendence. You know, the Advaita Vedanta path, where individuality gets dissolved in the absolute, is not the path that I'm going down. The path that I'm going down is the path of remaining detached yet completely immersed in the world, retaining individuality while holding the hand, the very tender hand of the beloved inside of me. That light, that vibrating presence, the living reality, and becoming a vessel to express wisdom and truth and compassion and kindness and peace and love to everybody, every living being. The sticks on the ground, the door. There was a story once that Osho told in his book Sex Matters, From Sex to Superconsciousness. He tells a story about a guy who went up into the hills. He was searching for, I think it was Ramanuja.
Oh, something else.
I think he was searching for Ramanuja. It was a certain saint he was looking for, and he had to go on this arduous journey to find him. Finally, he finds him in this isolated part of the world, and he throws open the door, and he's like, please teach me what you got to teach me. I finally found you. And the first thing he says is, well, first things first, you got to apologize to that door. You just threw that door open without any mind given to it. You didn't give any presents to the door. You didn't give that door any attention whatsoever.
He didn't make love to the door.
He didn't make love to the door. And the saint was like, you got to make love to the door first before I can tell you anything, So that transcendence that is inclusive of the personal. What Nishida Kataro once said, the content of eternity is personality. That's the idea. So that transcendence is a way to become a vessel to make love with everything, every living being, everything in your field of perception.
Can you feel that?
I am that.